I can remember in 1977, I was working on a construction site. Almost every day you'll see police chasing the black people. If they find you with, they call it a dom pass. They find you without a pass on any construction site, they will lock you up. We are a country with different diversities, different people, different cultures, different languages, most of all, different religions, different ideologies. And the school of Ahlulbayt taught me, number one, to be tolerant towards other people. This is myself, Shahid Fortune, and I grew up in a Muslim family. I was actually raised as a good Muslim, and Alhamdulillah, I was very, Islam was in my blood. I was very curious about things, and I never ever accepted, even when I was at school, I never accepted anything that people tells me. I will do my research, and my curiosity let me end up where I'm here now. This is Brother Kasim van der Schijf, is number 2. Amazingly about these guys, they are people who embraced Islam. That is the unique part of these guys. They embraced Islam, they became Muslim, and after being a Christian, he became a Muslim in the Sunni wal Jama'at, and he became a Ja'fari. Then there is Brother Farid, another unique brother. Now, this brother is a unique person. I'm going to tell you why. You see, that he also embraced Islam. He also embraced Islam. This brother had, besides him, he had 11 other brothers. 11 other brothers. And you know what? 10 of them became Islam. Amazingly, they accepted Islam after him. They followed his example. And this brother is Brother Ihsan. Another unique. He was, I would say, one of the backbones. We had our own security structure at that time. People wanted to do all sorts of things to us because of us, lovers of Ahlulbayt. This brother and myself, we were the two guys. I mean, with his help, we were the two guys that kept everybody together all the years for the dhikr, for the Kumail, and everything. Everywhere you hear Shia Kafir, Shia Kafir. Then we as a group, we decided to do some research. So me and my other brothers, which is 5 in total, we decided to approach the ulama, the Sunni ulama, those people who claim that Shia kafir, okay? Because according to us, there were no books available, Shia books available. Because at the time, one of the points that were raised was that any Sunni scholar is not allowed to pick up a Shia book because it is against the law, of Islam according to their belief. It's kafir, you can't do it, you see. So the first thing we did, we went to the ulama, okay? Yeah, so what happened is this, we went to the other 6 in total, okay? But their answers were very, very, very funny. All they told us, look at here. This was, they were very funny. Look at here. We don't want nothing to do with the Shias. Don't even ask us anything. Just get out of our mosque. And don't ever come here. These type of things. And okay, so we ended up against a brick wall. No answers.
also my brother Abdurrahman Peterson is at the Ahlulbayt Center, and that is in the Wit Road in Atri, and that I will be crossing over shortly.
Respected listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. From technician Akbar Hussein and myself, Abdurrahman Peterson, from the Ahlulbayt Center in Atri, and the Imam here is Maulana Sayyid Aftab Haider.
اللهم ما حملتنا من الحق فعرفنا وما قصرنا عنه فعلمنا أوصيكم عباد الله ونفسي بتقوى الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان.
After approaching the ulama, the five of us decided that we are going to the library. Okay, so when we got to the library, the five of us, when we got to the library, okay, we approached only one of us spoke, okay, and we asked the lady, because there's only ladies that were present there, we asked the lady about, initial literature. She said no, but what we did, we just said to each other, okay, let's just have a look around. And the five of us, we split in the library. Everyone took a lane, and then when I found the book, I shouted, yeah, I got something. But I didn't at first know what this is. The book is. But I was standing in the library for a couple, and I read the very first couple, and the very first part I read about, that amazed me. The very first thing I read about Nafzul Balagha was where Imam Ali alayhi Islam explained about the existence of Allah. I think that's in the front of the book, where he explained the existence of Allah, and I think somewhere he said if something to the effect that I wouldn't worship Allah, which I don't know, something like that, to that effect. But anyway, I read the book, and after I read it, and I called these guys. I said, Farid, Qasim, come here, man. And they said, hey, what's wrong? Then they came, But then, I don't know, they came, and I said, hey, look at here. And we all stood around the book, and what happened, it was like a fight for the book. This one is grabbing the book, this one is grabbing the book. I said, wait, man, wait. I went to okay. Then Farid, he told me, look at her. Ask the lady, you can take the cassette. I went. The others, while I was going to the front to take out the book, they went inside again, Then, I'm going to be honest with you, it was around about half an hour. Because what happened, I went out with the book. But just at the door I went, and I started to read. And while I was reading, I just Farid shouting, hey, we speak Afrikaans, but I'm going to speak in English. Ek het nog een boek gekregen. Hey, I found another book. I said, what's the word? Fatima is Fatima. And then. Now, what the amazing part was this, the people in the library weren't aware that those books were in the library. That is something amazing for us. It was something really amazing for us. But anyway, then he went to sit. He went to sit on the floor, reading the book, crossed legs, sitting on it. And okay, then afterwards he took the book out, and he was so excited. He read the first pages, And another thing is this, what I noticed about Farid. When he read a few pages about Fatima, he was crying. I said, what's wrong? Why are you crying? You see? And he didn't say nothing. He said, it's okay. He wiped his tears and we went. And all of us, we took the books and we went. And then we started reading the books. You see? And what we did, we took turns reading Nafzul Balagha, Fatima is Fatima. So, when I started reading Fatima is Fatima, then I could see, and I just, okay, this is the reason why you cried. The suffering that Fatima went through, and all those things and so on and so forth. And then those two books, now Now, what happened? Every night, you can ask my wife, we hardly ever slept. We would sit during we would go to work, come back from work, we would sit after work till the next morning. Yeah? Then we will come home for work again. We will have, maybe have just 2 fajr, have an hour sleep, go to work again, come back again. That's how it went every day. And we decided, okay, now we have the 2 books. Now at the back of Nafzubalaga, there was an address, Bilal Mission. I said, we just, hey man, let us write to these people, man. Maybe they can send us some books. Okay, then we start writing.
In Quran, therefore, sometimes, I'm not saying always, but sometimes jahl is not opposite ilm, but jahl is against ilm.
This is not enough excuse. You cannot say tomorrow in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because I didn't know, so I didn't do. The question will be, why you didn't try to know?
Upon your aql and intellect, not upon will be based upon whatever provokes you, how you react to the people. If you understand this particular phenomena, which is a behavioral problem, which is a pattern of behavior in human being and human society, you understand why Quran so much condemns jahl, why Quran so much declare jahl as a source of different diseases and problems and sicknesses in society and human.
They sent the books to us. We started reading. When we started reading, it's the very first time we had the true story of Ahlulbayt, who Ahlulbayt is, and and everything. But what we first did, we went back to the ulama. We went back to them, not all of them, but some of them. We went back to them. I said, look at here, this is what we discovered, man. And all these years, you've been lying to us. All these years you've been lying to us. We decided, okay, this is the school. This is the school. Because why? Because the ulama, first of all, when we asked them about Shiism, they couldn't tell us. Second, when we found the books, we discovered the truth. Now, instead of having a dialogue with us, a proper dialogue, they just shunned us. No, go with the Shia, and then we discovered, then it must be the truth. You see, it must be the truth. You see, and then the 5 of us decided, okay, now is the time we are going full force now, spread the school of Ahlulbayt. But also, you see, we couldn't do it like in the open. We had to go underground. The strategy was, for example, the Thursday was the dhikr, then the Wednesday before the Thursday, we 5 would sit. We would have a book, or maybe Nafzubalaga or whatever book. Okay, then we would extract questions. We would read the book and extract questions from that book, write it down. As you can see, we started with very basic questions. Say, for example, the topic is Imamat. Now we were starting, who's going to ask the questions? Okay, say, okay, Farid, you're going to ask the question. Or Shahid, you're going to ask the question. Now who's going to answer okay. Now what happened? The people in the dhikr are majority Sunni because it's in the neighborhood. You see? Now what happened is, now when the dhikr and dua kumail is finished, now Brother Farid or whoever is assigned to ask the question, it would look like it is in the audience. You see, then they ask, okay, what do you think about Imam Ali? Any question, but not directly, so that people can see, okay, this is Shia related. Okay, what do you think about Imam? For example, I'm just going to make an example. Imam Ali is one of the Khalif of the Khulafa Rashidin. Then you ask, we got Umar, we got Abu Bakr, and we got Uthman, and we got Ali radiallahu anhum. No, what about, can you, I know about the other three. Can you please just explain to me more about Imam Ali? You see? Then you will start. Okay, and then you will start. Then you will answer. Then you will start with the answering. You see, but then the people in the audience, they will listen. You see, they will listen. And at the end of the day, after that question has been answered, then somebody else in the audience will ask a question. Not from us, but from the outside. You see, not from us, from the outside. And that's what we did every Thursday. I am Abu Dhar. I heard the Prophet saying, the position of the members of my house amongst you is the position of Noah's Ark amongst his people. Whoever embarks on it was saved. This is only one of the papers that, I could find. But it really, it helped. And if you see today, the amount of people that is following Ahlulbayt, especially here in where we started, it is because of this. The amazing part is this, that say for example, the dhikr is here today in my house, the neighbor, please, they will beg us to have a dhikr at their home for the next week. They will beg us. Yeah. And then the next week we go. Then we just change the strategy again. Okay, what's the topic going to be this time again? You see this book here, I compiled. You can see there is a transliteration with the what you call it, the translation. Now this is the very first transliteration Dua Kumail in Cape Town, the very first one. And this was done with that old typewriters, with 2 fingers, and it took me 1 hour. You can ask them. I was sitting in the kitchen. It took me 1 hour per page to do this. Alhamdulillah. I don't know. I can't tell you for how long, but I didn't do it every night. Whenever I had the chance, I will do it. But one page, if you go through the whole Dua Kumail, you can't do so without tears in your eyes, really, because it is a dua for forgiveness. It is a dua for everything. And I can see in my life, I don't want to describe everything in my life, but if I describe my life, what I went through, and really Dua Kumail was the one that really stood out for me, that really gave me that passion for real Islam. One brother, his name is Ridwan. He became follower from Ahlulbayt through my influence. Okay, and then my father is an amazing story. My father, I could cry as I'm sitting here. I could cry. My father was Hafiz Quran. And when I introduced the school to him, he was very, I wouldn't say he was very reluctant. He said, no, what is this? Where you come with this? But the beauty part of everything, my father liked to read. He liked to read, you see. Whenever you see him, he's reading. Then I gave him the book. I said, okay, Daddy, I'm not going to argue with you, but please read these books. Then we talk again. Okay. And then he started reading. He started reading. And he was at the age of 65, 67, around about there. One day, I went to his house. I asked my mother, where's Daddy? No, he's praying. Okay. So when I opened the door, because I didn't do my prayer, I wanted to join him. When I came in the room, he was busy praying. And I discovered that, oh, he's praying according to the Jafari Madhab, you know, and I couldn't believe what I see, you see. Is it real? You know, I started to cry because I couldn't believe it, you see. But then again, I was just, okay, after then I did my prayer in the next room. And when he finished his prayer, I waited for him, you see, then I asked him. When he came out, then I asked him, you know, we speak Afrikaans, but I speak English. Now I made a joke, oh, you're a Shia now. You know, I made a joke, oh, you're Shia now. You see? And then, then he just started crying. He just started crying. The tears were coming. You see? And I had to console him. I said, okay, I'm sorry. If I offended you, I'm sorry. He said, no, it's fine. Then he said to me, yes, I think, I discovered the truth. He said, I'm a follower of Ahlulbayt. One day, one of the brothers, the Abdurrahman, passed away from Kensington, passed away. We went to the janazah. Then I introduced my father for the first time to one of the brothers. I think Bashir, Brother Bashir. You know, I introduced my father to Bashir. But I introduced my father as Hafiz, Hamid Fortune. My father's Hafiz, Hamid Fortune. And my father, he hit me in the side. He said, oh, so what's wrong? You Hafiz? And he called me one side. He said, no, you mustn't tell people I'm Hafiz. I'm not Hafiz anymore. I'm starting to learn now. I'm not Hafiz. And whenever you can't introduce, you couldn't at the time, after that, introduce him as Hamid Fortune, as a Hafiz now. You see? And to me, that brought tears to my eyes. I mean, to be so humble. To be so humble. And that only that taught me a lot in this life. Somebody, he had cancer. My father had cancer. Before he died, you know, some people go in a coma and then they passed away. But you know what? The amazing part, he was reciting salawat until the last breath. He still asked me, you know, he was very fond of Dua Kumel. He asked me and my brother, to recite Dua Kumel. We recite. And when Dua Kumel is finished, he said, no, you're not finished yet. Then he was to go on, another Dua Kumel. You see? And on the last breath, he recited salawat. When he became a follower of Ahlulbayt, he lost everybody. Everybody distanced themselves from him until the day he died. Nobody came, even when he was sick, nobody came to him. He was very sick, nobody came to him. At his funeral, some came, some didn't come, you know. And up till today, myself, the same. I would say I don't have, besides my brothers and sisters, I don't have Muslim families. I have, but they don't recognize me because I'm Shia. Same happened to my father. I'm living here, it's going now for 30 years now. 30 years. Yeah. No, my parents lived in another area. They lived also in Mitchells Plain, but in Portland. The house that my daughter is living in now is the house that my parents lived in. And even that is a very unique thing for me. Reason why, whenever I visit my daughter, I will think about my mother and my father. I'm going to introduce you to my wife, Shaida. My family. This is Shaida, my wife. And this is my eldest daughter, Tukhida. And that is the middle daughter is Fatima and Lamis. The last one is Lamis. And Alhamdulillah, you know, I'm very grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has blessed me with such a great family. Alhamdulillah. You know, if you see the world today, what happened, you know, I'm very blessed, Alhamdulillah.
I was raised in a family that was Shia. Obviously, by the time my father converted, I was like, what, one year old. I was 1 year old. So obviously when I grew up with the teachings of Ahlulbayt. But as I grew older and started reading and researching and whatever, I can truly say that I'm not a Shia because my parents are Shia. I am a follower of Ahlulbayt because I truly believe in the teachings of Ahlulbayt, because many people, even I'm just Muslim because my parents are Muslim. I didn't research, I didn't look at other things, but I read up, I read on other religions, I read up on other schools of thought, and not because I wasn't sure of the way I was raised, but I wanted to know. And if somebody should ask me, why are you a Shia, I can answer them. If somebody asks me, why are you a Muslim, I can answer them. It's because I want to be a Muslim, because I believe that is the best possible way to worship Allah and live your life. So I've always, I don't know, it was a bit challenging for me growing up, knowing that you are different or you don't fit in, or that is how I always felt, like you don't fit in, or you always feel out of place when you maybe in a gathering with other Muslim people. Like I didn't connect with them because of the obvious difference. But obviously my father tried to explain to me when I was small. Didn't fully understand at the time. I was like 5 or 6. But afterwards I understood. Biggest challenges and still challenges ongoing. It's you can't just go out and tell people you're Shia. It's difficult. Praying at work maybe and somebody walk in and they see you not standing with your hands folded, or you're praying on a turba, or you can't just, or going, even one of the challenges is going, somebody maybe invite you for Ramadan to go and have iftar. Our Maghrib, we eat a bit later than the Sunni people. That is a big challenge. So all of that, you know, the questions that arise, you can't tell your friends. Even with my friends that I do have, the very close ones are the only ones that I've maybe told, but I maybe have other friends also, but I've chosen not to tell them. But if they were to ask me, I would say, but I mean, I won't make it a point and tell them, listen, I'm Shia or whatever, but it's a lot of challenge. Even family, with my in-laws, things like that, it's not easy. At work also, when I went for Ziyarah, so obviously I had to take leave for 3 weeks from work. And everybody was, where are you going, where are you going? They hear Iran and Iraq, and then obviously alarm bells is going off. Where are you going? Why are you going there? So one guy just approached me and asked me, I want to talk to you. Where did you go? I said, I went to Iraq and Iran for Ziyarah. Are you Shia? Why did you go there? So I said, yes, I am. And he was in shock. And apparently I found out that his brother's also Shia. This guy that asked me. So it's really difficult. It's not being able to tell your friends or even your family. We have family that don't know we're Shia because we can't tell them, because we don't know how they're going to react.
When I asked my wife's mother to get married to her, you know what? She is a converted Christian. You know what she told me? She said, yeah, you can have my daughter. One condition: if you teach her your religion properly, then you can have my daughter. You know. And today I can say that my mother-in-law is very proud of her daughter. You know, because Alhamdulillah she has kept, you know, her part. She's doing well in the school of Ahlulbayt. Alhamdulillah. I would say today she's more Shia than me. You know, you see. But Alhamdulillah, you know, I praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, for granting us nothing but the Ahlulbayt. You know, it changes lives, man. I'm telling you. You see the person who I am, you can ask my wife. I wouldn't say I was a bad person, you know. I was always deen conscious, but you see, the concept of deen was different that time, you see, especially where my wife is concerned. You know, at that time, they had the concept that the wife is nothing, where what you say goes. You can ask her. And that's the mentality that I had. See, you can't tell me. I'm the husband in the house. You don't tell me. You see, but when I found the school of Ahlulbayt, you know, and then and I read the story of Zahar Fatima alayhi salam and Imam Ali alayhi salam, the connection, you know, the example. I'm telling you, it changed me completely. It changed me because what example, you know, and my wife could say, oh, she go, what's going on in Afrikaans? What's going on? What happened? You know, and she couldn't believe that, you know. But Alhamdulillah, that's what the school of Ahlulbayt, it changed me completely. You know, that chair belonged to my mother. She passed away. Whenever I need some comfort, I will sit in this chair and immediately I will find some comfort, you know, just thinking, you know, about my mother. That's an inspiration for me. The school of Ahlulbayt taught me to be tolerant, to be more humble, to handle my family matters much better, to respect my wife more. The biggest challenge now for us is our family. I'm talking about our nearest family. They go their way, they don't want nothing to do with us, you know, which is not a problem for us because we are used to this, you know. But today it's even worse. It's even worse because now the campaign is going on and on and on every day. From now, every day is going on. Radio station, you know, Jum'ah, Khutbah, it's going on. My humble request to anybody, any scholar, you know, is when you hear about Shia, do your own research. Read, you know, do your own research and not what ulama does or ulama that has said, but your own research and decide your own yourself. Ahlulbayt TV is like an institution in your house. That's how I describe it. It's a learning institution in your house. Like my wife, she can explain. She will explain to you better. You see, that Ahlulbayt TV is on 24/7. She knows every person on that Ahlulbayt TV, every presenter, everyone. So Alhamdulillah, you know, Ahlulbayt TV has brought, I would say, it brought light, more light into my house.
Ahlulbayt TV, the holy household for every household.